Welcome, modeling and animation students. In this series of lessons, we're going to create this stuffed rabbit character. This series of lessons is based on a series of YouTube video tutorials that I watched on Academic Phoenix Plus. And if you'd like to explore Monica's channel here, she has all sorts of things that are really great. And that was her show reel right here, if you'd like to see it sometime. But there's lots of really good stuff in here. Some of the stuff in here we're going to do. And also, this project is based on this modeling of this rabbit that I found online from this person, Krupali Patel. I like to give credit where credit is due. So in the first video here, we're going to set up our modeling space. And then we're going to model the body. And then we'll model the ears and the arms and the legs. And then in subsequent videos, we will apply texturing and actual fur. And we'll learn how to create a studio lighting rig as well. We're going to cover a lot of ground in this project and learn a lot of new things, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is create a project folder. So go to File, Project Window, select New, and name this something, and then click the File Path folder here. I'm on my PC, so I'm just going to put this on my desktop. I want you to put it in your OneDrive in your DDA2 folder, as we've discussed before. Once you've done that, once you've selected a file path, just go ahead and click Accept. And then you're going to need to navigate to the assignment in Canvas and download the project files here. Once you've downloaded them, they will be in a zipped folder, and you're going to need to extract it. To extract it, simply double-click on it, and then the file will open up as a folder. It will extract, and then we're going to need to open this folder in the Finder or the File Explorer, and then we're going to need to take these files right here and put them in our source images folder of our rabbit project folder that we created. So find that folder and open it up. Here's mine. Remember, mine's on my desktop. And then find the source images folder and take all of these images here that are in the project files folder that you just extracted and drag them into the source images folder of your Maya project folder. Once that's done, we can get started. So we're going to create image planes that will help us in our modeling of this rabbit character. And an image plane is simply a plane that is surrounding the model that allows you to use images as a guide for your modeling. So we're going to switch to 4 viewports right here, and we're going to place an image plane in the front view and the side view. So find your front viewport, which is right here, and the image plane icon here is in your viewport settings right here. If you don't see that, you can also come up to Create Free Image Plane right here. So in the front viewport, I'm going to click Image Plane, and it's going to bring up the project browser. And in the project browser, it's going to go straight to that source images folder, which is why we put those files in there. And you're going to select Rabbit Front, Open, and that creates an image plane in the front viewport. And now in the side viewport, we're going to do the same thing. Click the image plane icon. That brings up the project browser, and we're going to select Rabbit Side. And then we're going to drag a marquee selection around both of these, get the Move tool, zoom in, and place them so that the rabbit's feet are on the ground. And then let's expand the perspective view and see if that is the case. It's really hard for me to see the ground line here with my gradient background, so I'm going to cycle to the gray background so I can see it. Okay, let's switch back to the perspective view. And now we're going to separate these two planes so that we can model in the middle here. So select the front plane and move it back away from the grid like so. And then select the side plane and move it over to the side, like so. And now you can see we still have them visible in the front and the side, but they're away from the origin, which is where we're going to do our modeling. Now notice here that the side view of the rabbit, his feet are not on the ground here. That's because this image is a little taller than this one, and that is taking into account the fact that his ears are bent over. So we're going to put him back on the ground here. Let me expand my viewport. And then we just have a couple more things to do before we can get modeling. In the perspective viewport, drag a marquee selection around both of the image planes so that they are selected, both of them. And now we're going to create a layer that contains these two image planes so that we can freeze them so we don't accidentally move them. So select both of these image planes and then come over to the channel box and find the layer manager, and then click the last button in the row here, which will create a layer that contains the objects that you have selected. And then double click that layer, and we're going to rename it Reference. And I'm going to select mine and give it a bright green color and click Save. And now when we click this last column here twice so that it says R, these planes are frozen and we can't select them. And we don't want to accidentally move them, and that's why we've done that. And then the final thing we need to do is save the project. So come to File, Save Scene As, and name your project Rabbit01. I always like to give my scene files an iterative number because later on we may want to save another version. And click Save. And in the next video, we'll begin modeling the rabbit body. And I'll see you then.